Hey T-Rob, how's it
Hey,
going?
I'm good. How you doing?
We're back. I'm
I,
happy to be back.
I know. I'm so stoked that I was missing you and missing us, and like this is awesome. So I'm glad we're collabing on this and bringing it back together. So it's really cool.
Yeah, and I'm loving, that we came up with a new idea that we're going to try something, a little different with the live, learn. No, I just said that all wrong, right? Help me out.
Oh,
Live, laugh, learn. There we
learn, live, laugh, learn.
go.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So hopefully we can kind of keep it, more a little bit more structured, but we definitely want to have fun. I know that's something you and I want to really bring into this. So I'm hoping we can keep it that way. So
Absolutely. So, I
yeah,
mean, just in keeping with topic of living life, how have you been living since the last time we talked?
I've been doing good. It's been kind of crazy because I have a 16-year-old that's still here, and she is actually graduating at 16. So
Oh, wow.
it's been one of those deals where she thinks she's grown, and like, hey, I'm graduating, I'm leaving. I'm like, well, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna pay your bills? So it's been interesting lately. Let me put it that way. Uh, but yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I have a 16-year-old myself. She's not graduating, but she's a junior. So you
Yeah.
can imagine how much money of mine she's trying to spend with homecoming dresses and nails and hair and just all of these things going on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. And then on top of it, my parents bought a house, and they're like 75 years old, and it's a fixer upper. So it's been a fun time. Let me just put it that way. So trying to figure out how to do everything. So,
Absolutely. I
yeah.
know out there, and we got DJ Pollywood in the chat out there in Florida. They are dealing with some rough weather, aren't they?
Oh man, I'm praying for those folks out there because that is looking rough for sure. Um, but what's
Yeah,
up, DJ Holly?
he's out in Tampa. I know a lot of other Hexicans that are in Florida, so we're just hoping that all of those guys stay real safe. If you have to evacuate, do that. I got a phone call yesterday from one of my friends, CZ Hexing. You probably know her. She's all
Yeah.
over Twitter because she knows that I'm flying to Louisiana tomorrow. And she's like, "Are you sure you want to fly to Louisiana? Like, they don't have the best track record with hurricanes."
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, but I checked out their weather. Their weather seems to be pretty safe. So I'm going to go ahead and still head out that way. But definitely good luck and prayers to all those guys out there in Florida that are in the trajectory of the hurricane.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, it's always tough to watch that, And if you ever been in one, it's not fun at all. I mean, it's scary for sure. But yeah, I think Louisiana's all right. I think they got spared on this one. Looks like from the path, unless it changes. But anyway, so
Yeah. So, anything new going on in your crypto world? Any new projects you looking at, interested in, or anything like that?
well, I mean, I'm always looking at stuff. I mean, I don't know that there's any that I'm just totally diving into right now. Um, I'm really, really like hot on NFTs right now, and I'm really trying to look at them a little more because I mean, like my feeling on it is kind of like I just feel like that's kind of the future.
Hmm.
I think the future's now with NFTs, so I'm really been doing a lot of studying on that and just trying to find good projects to invest in and to learn from. So,
Have you
what about you?
gone? Have you gone dabbling with your hex copies yet on ETHPAL or ETHFair? All
No, I've been. I was going to. I got in and I'm like, yeah, and then I was like, because you know how you see people like don't do it and do
yeah.
it. Okay, so I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna wait for a while and just kind of learn from other people and so I haven't done anything. What have you? Have you messed with it?
Yes. My secret shame. I'm like somewhat of a degen.
Huh?
I,
That's okay.
I'd like to dive right in there and test the waters. I like to try to be, in the
Yeah.
first people to try it out. So the first day that East Pal was available, KG, and I love his content. I love what he's doing.
Hmm.
He hopped on stream for multiple hours, and he was going through it. And Marco the Hexican, he was going through it. So as long as there's a couple of guys that I feel are trusted guys that
Right.
are willing to pull the trigger first, then I'll dabble in there a little bit. So I added the network. I definitely made a like a new MetaMask, like just a dummy MetaMask before I went over to any decks, right? And so
Yeah.
I took my copies off of my wallets and then I sent them to this new, dummy MetaMask before I went trying to do any swaps. I don't want these new systems to have any access to my real wallets,
Hmm.
but I did, I still took a little risk and even putting the network,
Yeah.
on. But yeah, it seems to be working out. So okay, I'm not unwrapping any new fiat, right? So like I think that's a whole, another lane that I'm not ready for. But I was definitely ready or willing to play with some of those copies.
Yeah. Yeah. I was watching KG stuff too because I mean, he's a great. I like to watch his material, and he makes it pretty simple to understand. But yeah, I've just been kind of sitting low on it and not messing with it. I'm like old school, I'm just like, I'm good. I got Hex right now. I don't need all that other stuff. So,
Well,
uh,
I mean, that's literally the only reason though that I went looking is because now I got two more sets of hex.
right. Yeah. Yeah. The
So
more Hex, the better, right? So
right, the more hex, the better. That's what I'm talking about.
yeah.
But you know me, I've been focused on what us the guys over at KSB do. Our meetups, we have all kind of things like straight from one event on to the next. We always have things in the works. One thing that we had decided when we were on tour is that we like to travel together anyways, right?
Right.
Like you're probably gonna take some kind of vacation or little weekend trip or something. And for us, it just makes sense to try to coordinate those trips together
Hmm.
so that we get better group rates and really the money just stays within the ecosystem. And so, we wanted to celebrate Hex birthday together. Again, we did it last year. And this year, being that it's my birthday, I was able, the day before, I was able to talk the guys in coming to California. They really
Nice.
haven't spent much time in California. All, independently said, hey, I want to come and visit. So we thought that this would be the perfect time. So we have like, on my birthday, we're gonna have dinner, and then we have a meetup bar later on that night. The next day is the actual Hex birthday, so we have a 40-passenger yacht that sails to San Diego Harbor. And then that night, we did a partial buyout of a club called Park Nightclub in downtown San Diego.
Wow.
We wanted to do it different from last year. Last year, we did a whole private venue, nothing but Hexicans. It was amazing, but we have like this mission to always be onboarding.
Yeah.
So it's like if you only party clubs, then nobody can see the excitement that the Hexicans have. So we
Right.
figured if 100, 150 Hexicans show up to this nightclub, we've already got permission to put our logos on the screens, and everything like that. So we're like, yeah, all the people who just thought they were going out for a regular night, a regular Friday night, they're gonna get bombarded by a Hex birthday.
Nice. Nice. I mean, they can only, I mean, that's a great way to onboard, right? People are going to be like, what is this Hex thing? Because everybody's having fun. And yeah, I get it. That's awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
I think I saw the flyer on it. So I saw all the stuff you were doing. So that's really cool.
Yeah. And then we have one more event the next day, that Saturday. I'm gonna open that one up a little bit more. It's called Crypto and Cocktails, where we're trying to, like you said, NFTs are hot right now. That if that's the future, we want to network more with them. We want to collaborate even more.
Right.
We're doing this event that's open up to all different crypto communities. We have a couple different people that we're talking with in the Los Angeles area that we're trying to get down. to be a part of that. So nice little 3-day weekend. If you're in the area, early December, check us out.
I'd love to be there to see if it works out. I mean, I saw it. I'm like, man, that would be fun. I like that area anyway. There's so much to do there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool. So you've got all that stuff going on, and then you have like the Hex Cruise next year, right?
Yes. So that one I think I'm most excited for. I I really do think that this could be the biggest meetup to date, right? We had the different Hex conferences, the first meetup one, then the second one, and then all the meetups in Vegas during PostCon. Um, and I don't know that we've ever seen, more than like 300 people in one space, right? Like Maddie might have sold, I don't know, like 400 tickets. I don't know how many tickets PostCon sold, but you
Right.
like 100 people on this day, and then you get 100 people over here and whatnot. But us all being on a boat, there's no escaping, right? Like we'll all be there for dinner. We'll all be in the nightclub or the comedy club or whatever that's going on
Yeah.
the boat. And I mean, what month is this? We're at the end of September, so we still have October, November, December, and then 4 months. We still have like 7 months. We have 54 paid deposits, like 54 people that have already rooms and paid their deposits.
Wow. That's awesome. That's great. I need to do that myself with you because I'm definitely going for sure.
Yeah. The rooms are going fast. The first two highest categories of room are sold out. Um, it's crazy. It's I really do think that we could have like a major impact on this vote to where Royal Caribbean is like, who are these people? Who are
I love it. I mean, I love that you guys are using events to just bring people together. I mean, it's like, because to me, it's like, it's so much, it's kind of it's not easy by any means because I've done events too, but once you get that event planning done and you have that event together, it's just nice to see all these different people, types of personalities come together, right? I mean, there's nothing better. And I love it. Like you said on the cruise, you're going to get to know people because what are you going to do? Jump off the side of the boat, it's really cool. And I know you put so much work into it, and it's really appreciated all that you're doing in the community and building it. So really
Yeah,
cool.
I'm really looking forward to see how they set up our tables for dinner, right? Like, could you imagine if there's like, 200-300 of us, and we're like, no, we all want the same dining. We all want to be together. What are they gonna do? So I'm
We
kind
have
of
our
looking.
own section of the boat.
Yes, put those Hexicans over there.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But to give some shout outs because each week we talked about when we created this new show, this new concept, that we would pick a theme for each week, right? That
Mhm.
we would explore different topics, whether it's a theme like today, collaboration, or it's a theme like a project, Keytron, or something like that.
Mhm.
And so, being that today's theme was collaboration, I mean, that really should have been like the key takeaway from the week in Vegas. I
Yeah.
mean, there was so much collaboration going on between all those different events. So I just want to spotlight a few different people that I collaborated with to get a lot of the events done. So the first one are the Hex ladies, with special recognition going to CZ Hexing. She does spaces religiously. Like every Saturday, she does crypto and coffee.
Yeah.
In the evening, she does her after dark space. But she is probably one of the most dedicated community members as far as like making sure that people feel invited, making sure that people have information. You can almost always DM her or text message her, and she will find the information that you need. And I
Mhm.
don't know that we would have had as much attention on the postmasters had it not been for the Hex ladies, getting behind me the way they did. They were like, yes, let's make videos, and Jack Hexkin was making those meme posts or whatnot.
Yeah.
Of the sexy ladies and
Yeah.
some of the conservative ladies, all different types of posts. But I just have so much love for the ladies in our community for just stepping up. In this picture, these are the ladies that golfed on the ladies hex team representing us. They did a great job. And then this was the whole number 8 that they sponsored. So that's my first community shout out for collaboration. Those beautiful hex ladies.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, I agree. They pushed it so big. I mean, I would jump on Twitter and it would be like you would just see like them like all these different posts. So great job.
Absolutely. Spotlight number 2 provided these beautiful bags to all our hex ladies that helped me with the postmasters, and then for almost everyone, you've probably seen these hats and these
Yeah.
cards all over the internet because RPE, it stands for Rochelle Private Equity. They are some Hexicans that formed their business, and they are just the most generous people I've met. I mean, the quality of product that they'll create to give away like amazes me. I swear these are like each one of these hats are like $50 hats. And
Yeah.
these metal cards that they make are like, I'm sure you've seen them. They can't be cheap. That's all I can say.
No, that's nice. I saw people, I saw the hats, I saw people wearing them, and I'm like, man, those are sick. Like, I mean, you don't, I hadn't seen them anywhere else. So I was curious of who did them, but uh,
Yeah.
yeah, just really nice stuff.
Yeah, Brian Magruder and RPE, those are the guys who are behind the beautiful hats. They were a sponsor for the event, and they really made sure that our swag bags that we gave out at the event were really nice. I mean, in addition to them doing these separate bags for the ladies, they also made sure that in every swag bag, those red bags that we were giving away also had, these hats and these cards and everything. So just a big, big shout out to those guys.
Yeah, big time collaboration there for sure.
Absolutely. My next one is a shout out to the whole community, right? CZ had this idea of doing the cabana party where
Hmm.
she's like, she was just going to get a cabana for herself. And then I said, hey, other people are probably going to want to get in on this. So she took the reins of it, contacted the hotel, found out what we would need to do, and then got essentially a spearhead for each cabana.
Yeah.
So you had B Roots that took on a cabana, Hexray Vision, Viber Finance, Power City. My team, we took on 2 cabanas. So one for KSB, one for Million Post Tour, and then Freddie Quotes. And because of this collaboration, all these different people bringing their groups together, I would say that there was like over 100 people that showed up to this
Wow.
cabana party at the Resorts World.
Wow.
So
That's great.
yeah, it's amazing what we do when we, put our brains together and work together to get things done.
Yeah,
And
for
then
sure.
my last shout out are to these guys, the Power City team, and I'm gonna throw up a little video from the Power City because that event that is like the definition of true collaboration. You had CZ and Suzanne putting together the fashion show, making sure all of the models were there, that we had plenty of models. Suzanne making all of that, all those clothes from scratch. I myself worked to produce the music part of the show where I put the set list together for the guys. All the guys, Freddie Quotes, BlaKC Crypto, Corey, put on an amazing show. And Power City, the entire time, are just in the background, making sure that everybody is taken care of, making sure that everything is flowing smoothly, that we have great communication with the sound and the stage and the digital projector guy.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was probably one of the best events that a Hexagon event that I've been to. I mean, just the fact that they were so, even Nurse Scarlet Rose, she did her opening dance, right? These guys, like, they exude what it means to be about collaborative work within the community, right? They paid for this venue. They didn't have to let anyone else, share their spotlight. and they just welcomed everybody in with open arms, and it turned out to be an amazing event.
Yeah. Well, they're doing amazing stuff. So
Yeah.
I mean, they really are. Like you talking about some smart dudes. Man, those guys are very intelligent.
Yeah, they're probably one of the few people that actually get me interested in NFTs.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
You know, and I mean, they have some really incredible work. So
Yeah, they do.
love what those guys are bringing to the table.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, that to me, like that's like true collaboration, right? Like when different parties come together and they're just like everybody's desires like to reach the same goal. And I think sometimes we forget that, right? I think we see some of this back and forth stuff, and it's just like, how much stronger would we be if we just all dropped all the egos and stuff and just came together and just
Right.
collaboration? I mean, I think Richard Hart posted something the other day, right? Like people get off your ass and do stuff, like like if we came together, I mean, like even to help you with events, like more people, instead of looking from a distance, and I'm guilty of it as well, and saying you're doing a great job, we appreciate it, but it'd be helpful if people actually jumped in and did things and gave to the cause as well, because guys and girls and whoever, it's not cheap to put on these things.
No, it is not. And it is a lot of work, but this is what we wanted. This is the ultimate goal of KSB TV, is to create collaboration. I think that is what we are doing, me and you, by doing this show, and really all the shows that we have on KSB are in that same mentality. Like Abid, of course, he has his own channel, but he could exclusively stream on his channel, right? X Lion could have his own channel. I could be doing my own channel. You could be doing your own channel. But
Mhm.
the collaborative work is all coming into one place to get more exposure. It just helps to be able to grow the community, I think, a little bit faster, as opposed to a whole bunch of people running a short race. We all get together to run this marathon.
Yeah, for sure. Well said.
Yeah. So that's all I have as far as my shout outs.
Okay, well, that was good. Some
Any,
worthy folks there for sure.
did you want to mention? I know you have a little bit of inside scoop on the Texan token. I think Rags and Hex Vision are doing like a little meetup circuit, aren't they?
Yeah, they're doing a Texas run. So I'm actually planning that. So I just finalized everything today, and I'll be posting it. But so they're doing a little over a week, just in an RV, hitting city to city. So should be cool. Just pushing, talking about the Texan token, but really talking about Richard Hart and Hex and Pulse Chain, and just trying to onboard people. Like that's really what it's all about. I mean, Rags is really good at that. I mean, and I think he'll do well if us Texans don't beat him up while he's here. But no, I'm kidding.
Is there anywhere we can go, or where we can look for those updates as you guys post the dates and the cities and all
It's funny because I don't think they even have it on a website. I did a spreadsheet and I'll post that and I'll share it. And it's nailed down. I mean, it's not a long one by any means. So those are the dates, the locations will be on there. And
that?
people can,
Probably Twitter then. That's probably the best place.
yeah, I'll push it on Twitter for sure. And then on some of the Telegram, I'll throw it up on there too, Hex Texas and stuff like that. So
Nice, nice,
it'll be
nice.
fun.
This is new for me, but I'm gonna throw it up there.
Awesome. I like it. It looks exactly how I dance. So I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So,
That's awesome.
see, we're already laughing. That's what we wanted. So this is good. So
It's
uh,
perfect.
yeah. So I kind of wanted to throw some jokes out, and it's funny because I was kind of looking at jokes, and they're all kind of dark. I'm like, and I was like, man, I must be in that mood. But there's one that just like got me, and it's kind of dark, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Why is it that when you donate a kidney, people love it, but when you donate 5 kidneys, they call the police? I was just like, but and then another one was like, I never forget my grandfather's last words to me just before he died. Are you still holding the ladder? That
Okay.
was the kind of jokes I was coming up with. And I'm just like, man, I'm in a rough spot. But
I had to find a little crypto joke to go with it. I did find one I thought was kind of funny. It said, "Did you hear about the vampire who got into crypto?" No.
no.
He got killed when he tried staking.
Oh my gosh. I like it. I like it. That's awesome.
And then there was another one. It said, "Pro tip: if a girl in a hot bikini DMs you about crypto, ignore him."
Oh, ain't that the truth? That is so true. Oh man, yours were better than mine, so I got to step it up next week.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah, I'm
know,
gonna be using my husband. He's like the king of dad
is
jokes.
he? Oh man, you got it. You're lucky then. I have to look mine up and try to find them. But um, I think what we're gonna do though, we talked about it, is like we're gonna try to get the community involved and start trying to get some funny stuff from them that we can use. But one thing I noticed, and I wanted to throw this out, and you probably saw it too, is this crazy videos on TikTok going around about them cooking chicken in NyQuil. Have you
Oh my
seen
God.
those?
I saw the warning that they put up, like, do not try that at home, but I
Why,
never watched one of the actual videos.
why would FDA have to actually do a warning on that? Are we that freaking dumb? I mean, it's like I just I thought it was like, am I really reading this right? Are the people really doing this? And they are. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it's a wild world we're living in.
I know. Like, do you not have anything else to do? I mean, like, it is just wild. It just shows you what social media does, right? I mean, it's easy to get things rolling. Like a video like that's just going, 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 and then other people start doing it. So it's crazy.
Oh
Kind of
yeah.
scary, really scary, right? For
Yeah. I mean, all that stuff, even my own kids, I have to like remind them that
Yep.
everything you see on the internet is either, could be fake, right? Could just be CGI, photoshopping. And then the other thing is like, why? Why do you need to try these things? Like my youngest, she has this love for things that are way too spicy, right? The Takis, the hot Cheetos, like all that stuff, right? And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, that stuff is horrible for you. But she sees like the chip challenge, right? There's one chip,
Ooh.
like, it's like, I have to try it. And I'm like, absolutely not. And then, like, a week after I told her no, we saw it on the news where, like, this chip challenge is like sending people to the hospital because
Yeah.
it was so out of control. And I'm like, do you see why I would never let you try this?
Yeah. Well, at least Mama was trying to take care of her, right? Like old school moms would probably be like, "Yeah, go ahead and do that, honey," like, and see them burn their freaking throat off. But yeah, that's crazy.
I guess experience can be the best teacher, right?
Sometimes you have to do that, right? You have to allow them to fall on their face a little bit to learn. But not. I don't like to see injury though. That's pretty crazy.
Right.
There's David Lee. Hey, David. Thanks for popping in. Um, yeah. So I did have this one video I sent you. I don't care if you want to play it or not, but I thought it was kind of funny. But we don't have to play it. Um,
We can. Is there?
let's
Can
see if
you screen share it, or because
let me
I
see if
didn't?
I can. Let me see if I can. Oh, you know what? I didn't download it. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can screen share it.
See who's in the chat while we're waiting. David Lee, DJ Pauly, Crypto Cashew. Appreciate you guys being here. I know there's a big stream going on, so I want to go ahead and give a shout out to Jen Hex. Happy birthday to him.
Happy birthday to you.
He's an awesome Hexican.
I love it. So let me widen that there, and let's see if I can get it to work.
Oh yeah.
I just thought that was let me get this thing to stop going. I just thought that was so funny, and I wasn't pushing that company or anything, but I thought it was just hilarious that uh, isn't that how it is? Like someday, right? Someday we're all like that. Like, when is it gonna happen? But
Yeah, especially if you sacrifice for post chain.
I, I know. Uh, let's not get going on that.
With that being said, let's
Let's
learn.
learn. Love it.
So, I was thinking about collaboration, so I decided to pull up the definition just to be as clear as we can be. And the definition that came across the most for me was two or more people working together towards shared goals. Right. And we hear that all the time in the Hex community. Whenever you go to a meetup, whenever you meet somebody, you go, what is it about this community that, makes you guys get along so well, even though there's so many backgrounds and so many, different places that people are coming from. And it's always the same answer. It's this idea of shared interests, right? Is that we all have this understanding of delaying gratification, of being a custodian of your own wallet, of your own finances, the idea of being your own bank, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we've already got that part together. We already have a shared interest. Now it's like, what do we do in order to take that shared interest and to create goals, shared goals that helps us to elevate, the community to the next level, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, for sure. I mean, like I think what happens is, and you and I have talked about this because on when we stream before, but is that we kind of forget, we kind of get in this bubble, right? We get in this bubble and we don't look outside of that bubble, and we don't come together to grab people from the outside to bring them in because we're so protective as humans, right? We're like, nobody's getting in this bubble, so, but we should all be coming together and really working towards one goal, and that goal is to build this community. And I think people just kind of forget that, of like, the bigger this community is, number one, there's more money coming in, right? And there's just more resources. There's more smart people like you that can come together and help build the community more and do more things. So yeah, I right there with you. Collaboration is everything, and not only here, but in life in general, right? I mean, like, if you don't know how to collaborate with people, you're gonna have a hard freaking life. I mean, that's just the truth.
Absolutely. I think about oh man, I just drew a little blank as to what my point was. I was about to start talking. I was like, wait a minute, that's gonna go on, and I'm not gonna remember why I even started this story. But yeah, I'm just really drawing a blank right
No,
now.
that's fine. I mean, like, to me, you're like an example of collaboration, right? And so, and I'm not really interviewing you, but I am. So how did that come together? Of you just like, let me build, like, I want to do this team, and I want to put these events on. I want to bring more people into the Hex community, and I
Yeah.
mean, how did that come together? Because I think people need to, maybe sometimes people don't collaborate because they don't know how.
Mm.
So.
That's an interesting point. I think for me, I was inspired by the Hex community, right? Like, my husband had been making music since I met him, since we were
Mhm.
back in college. But it always was his thing, right? He'd make his music. He might post it on SoundCloud or on YouTube, and that was just it.
Yeah.
But then when I decided to get on Twitter and really start to engage with Hexicans, with people in the community, one of the first things that I saw was a music video that Freddie Quotes put together, right? And when I saw how many, at this point, this was like every, we didn't. At now, it's a lot more streamers than it was back then.
Yeah.
Back then, there were like 15 streamers, and all 15 of them were in the video, and that was so impressive to me. because I'm like, what kind of community? I know all these people don't live in the same city, you know, like it's just not possible. They're a crypto community. So what kind of community can get all of, your different people to come to one place to make a song that essentially promotes a crypto? Like
Hmm.
that was a little groundbreaking for me. That said something about this community, is different. It sets apart, right?
Yeah.
So then when I started promoting my husband's music, I said, well, let me reach out to different members and see if that's the energy that they bring, that they're that willing to collaborate. And
Hmm.
so one of the first people that I reached out to was Avid Hex. And it really was just because I was going to be in Las Vegas the same time they were going to be in Las Vegas. Their route had them going from Las Vegas to San Diego to LA. I live in San Diego,
Hmm.
and LA is not that far. So in my mind, I'm thinking, look, I have 3 cities to create this collaboration, right? To make this music video, to see how it is that we can support their tour. Um, Completely caught off guard to show up to the tour and then to end up on the tour. Like never that was never a part of my plan, or I wasn't even an idea. I'm just but I'm I don't want to say controlling, but yeah, probably for lack of a better word, I can be a little controlling. And so when I got to their event and I'm like, wait a minute, you're giving away more hex than my kids have in their wallets, right?
Hey, right.
And nobody is here, right? Like you got a 1 in like 15, 20 chance of walking away with it was a 5,555 hex, but at the time it was worth like $3,000,
Well,
So
yeah.
I'm like, why is no one here? Why aren't the Hexicans making a bigger deal about this, even though it's educational? That's what we need. We need
Hmm.
to be educating. We need to be providing this incentive to get people to want to come out and learn. And so the fact that they had something going, but it could be better, I just felt like I could, use my skills to help take it up a notch. And so that was where, collaboration really began for me in the Hex community. And it's just continued since then. Since then, it's just been a constant, meeting someone new in the community, seeing what skills they possess, and just asking, hey, are you willing to do this? Are you willing to help in this way? And then what's even, bigger for me is when people bring me their talents, when they're like, hey, I can create you a flyer. Do you have a flyer for the Hex Cruise yet? Can I make that for you? I mean, those kind of conversations are the best for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that collaboration is really sweet, but I think you like hit it like sometimes you have to ask, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I think that like we see that in kids a lot. Like they stand back and they don't want to ask that question because they don't want to be like, I don't want to feel dumb or anything. But like I can tell you there's so many people that need help in this community and they're not asking people for the help and people are not asking them for the help. So I just urge people to like, man, if you need help, like ask for it. And because people aren't like you or me, then we see things and we go, I'll help do that. I can help you with that. But there's a lot of people that are waiting for somebody to ask them, you know.
Yeah.
So, anyway, uh, I don't know where I was going with that. I was kind of rambling, but just want to throw it out there.
No, I mean, I agree completely. One of the things that I like are the Telegram groups, not the Twitter groups. So don't get me started on the Twitter groups. I've had to apologize to people because Twitter is one of those platforms where as soon as you leave the group, it like makes that broad announcement. Black Hexagon has left the group. You know, so I always have to like put this disclaimer, like I do love you guys, but it's just way too many notifications, and you just can't mute them the way you should be able to.
Yeah.
but Telegram, the Hex community has used Telegram in such an efficient way. There's a group that is for design and marketing. There is different groups based on your geographical location, right?
Hmm.
There's the Cali Hexicans and the Texas Hexicans, and
Right.
um, there's just so many different groups, and literally every time we have meetups, there's a group for that meetup that comes up. And to me, that's where the collaboration really gets going, being just putting yourself in platforms to be able to hear when things are announced and to be able to give that feedback, like, hey,
Yeah.
we're doing this, with RPE. um, I had an issue. We were, doing things for the postmasters. The flag producer that we had went with, they contacted like months after we had already paid and gave them all the graphics and everything. Then they contacted us and they're like, hey, we're not going to be able to provide the insert that goes in the flag that makes it actually stay on the pole,
Mm.
right? And because of that, we held off on your order, and now we're not going to be able to print it on time. And I'm like stressed beyond belief.
All right.
And somebody tells me, oh, RPE, they just did these banners for us or whatnot. Maybe you should contact them. And from the moment that I contacted them, it was like the biggest weight off of my shoulders. You know what I mean? I mean, they took over, not only did they take over the flags, but they took over the banners. They took over a lot of different like projects. They did my program. They did a
Mhm.
lot of different things that I would have had to, stress going through all these different vendors. But
Yeah.
as had I not been, having the conversation to say, hey, I'm in need of this, and then that person making the referral, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then it just never would have worked out,
Yeah.
But thank God that, that I did find those guys and that it did work out because they created, some amazing products.
Yeah.
But it really is just always being open to communication, just, laying it out there, what it is that you need, how it is that you can, work with someone, and, just having a little patience and understanding, because this is a community that everyone is doing this basically off premium, like off goodwill, off wanting to see our shared goals elevate, you
Mhm.
know? And so because of that, you can't always get it when you want it, right?
Right. Right.
But we still can create amazing things. We have some really talented people in this community.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Unbelievable. I mean, like more and more every day that I'm finding, like, look what this person can do, like, and it's really amazing, honestly. So,
Yeah. David Hex nailed it.
yeah. Best community in crypto for sure. There's no doubt. I mean, I don't know how anybody could even challenge that. I mean, if you get anybody new into this community, they're like, wow, this is unbelievable, right? I mean, uh, the funny thing is, I didn't even use Telegram before I got into this stuff. I was like, Telegram? What the heck is that?
I
Like,
didn't, I didn't use any of this stuff. I didn't use Telegram. I didn't
uh,
use, but I actually hated Twitter. Like I created a profile like long time ago, and it just seemed like people just so bitter, just
I was the
constant
same way.
negativity. And then I don't know what it was. I think I was watching one of the streamers, and they kept bringing up that the Hexicans are on Twitter. And so I get on Twitter just expecting it to be that same thing, right?
Yeah.
And then I just fell in love. Just like I think I'm on Twitter every day now.
You do too much, to be honest with you. I'm like, I need to get off this thing. But yeah, I was like, I was a big Facebook guy. I mean, I did like Facebook heavy because I did a lot of events too, and I'd always on Facebook, and then got into crypto, and it's like Twitter. I'm like, well, I guess I'll go back over there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, T Rob, we've had a great stream. We don't have to hold for the whole hour unless you have some more topics that you want to talk about. But I like this. I like going through topics and, really exploring them deeply.
Yeah, I do too, and I like the way we have the segments. And I think what you and I are both trying to do is really try to bring in a little bit of laugh, because we don't, and the live is something that I think we're missing. Of like, hey, we're real people. like what's going on in your life. And we want to really push the community and ask the community to be involved in our show too. And, and send us stuff. If you want us to talk about something, man, send it to us, or you find something that's funny. I mean, send it to us. We'd love to share it, and heck, we'll bring you on and you can talk about it. We don't care. But yeah, I'm so glad to be back with you, and I appreciate you doing this. I know your time is very, like, you have this much time. So I'm grateful for the time and just the friendship that we have, and I'm looking forward to building this thing.
Absolutely. I can't wait to meet your family. Are all of them coming on the cruise?
Yeah. They're all coming. Yeah. I need to call you and get that taken care of too. So
absolutely. Yeah, we'll have a little powwow because I got another little project I could use your help on too.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Love it.
Absolutely. Well, if there's nothing else in the private chat, that's all I got for today, guys.
Hey, don't forget the Hexi Awards, right?
So absolutely. Thanks for that. If you guys haven't heard, this year we are doing nominations for what we are calling the Hexi Awards. The 2023 Hexi Awards, because they will be announced on the Hex Cruise in April. Right now through November 5th, you can go to ksb.tv. There's a form right on the home page where you can fill in, make nominations for who you'd like to see nominated for these different awards. Right now, it's just typing in the names. Once that period is over, the top 5 of each category will be identified and randomized, and then you'll be able to vote just out of those 5 on who actually wins the award. Hoping to see all those different people nominated be at the Hexies live and in person, just in case they win. But if not, we do have the goal to also be able to live stream the Hexi Awards live from the cruise ship.
Nice.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Oh, that's
gonna have Wi-Fi, so I'm working on it.
Okay, good. That's gonna be cool. That's gonna be really cool.
Yeah,
I'm excited for that.
So,
well, cool.
Any last words?
That was it. I just remembered that in my old age, actually, my brain actually works. So, but
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, we're good. I appreciate you, and you have a great evening. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Read it.